Alle Instrumente im grünen Bereich. Sie sind bereit zum Abflug. Die Minigun sollte geladen und feuerbereit sein. Viel Glück, Ma'am. Wie ein guter Landeplatz aus. Wir sind gleich am Boden.
Yeah? Yeah? What do you want?
Hey,
Oh, it's you.
Keep your ears to the ground.
Entschuldigung.
Ah, there you are. Got some good news. With Magnuson's help, we deciphered the holotape we found in 111. We can now make more advanced ASAMs. In fact, I already built one. Saying that, and I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but between you and me, I get a little tired of all this mystery and intrigue. Sure, he's helping us, but I wish Madison would just stop drip-feeding us stuff. Just tell us everything we need to know already, so we can get on with things.
That is precisely why I asked you to come here.
Oh, the doctor! I didn't realize you were, wait, how are you?
Didn't mean to startle. To make our discussion a bit less cumbersome, I've commandeered what remains of the museum's PA system. And, considering what it is I have to say, I thought this museum an appropriate venue. Now, shall we begin?
How'd you do that?
I'm using your Pip-Boy as a bridge. It can bounce my radio signal to the museum's intercom system. Hardly a difficult task when you've intimate knowledge of Robco's UOS.
That's why I'm here.
The reason I asked you here is, well, there are certain topics I've avoided discussing or have intentionally sidestepped whenever you made mention of them. But before we go any further, these topics are things you need to know, and I believe that I can now trust you with this knowledge. So, to that end, I shall reveal to you who it is that employs the Gunners. But before that, I must explain to you about Project Selene and the Ingram tape technology the Gunners seek.
What can you tell me about this project?
Yes, Project Selene. Many saw the end of the world coming, and many made attempts to preserve something of what was, be that resources, data, people. My attempt was Project Selene, a self-sustained habitat for humanity, built upon the surface of the moon. A lunar colony! I knew I could do it. I just needed funding so I could develop the technology to pull it off. That's where Robco came in. With their financial support, I successfully developed the tech that would guide the construction of the lunar colony's complex infrastructure.
You're talking about ASAMs, aren't you? So that's what you made them for.
Yes, ASAMs. It's with Robco's backing that I was able to create them. Real ASAMs, mind you, not these phony baloney knockoffs you've been using.
What did you say?
Yes, that's right. The moon. Before you were born, Americans had already set foot on its dusty soil. And even back then, they knew it offered more than just a celestial nightlight or an out-of-the-way place to store an old flag. Took 83 years, but eventually, the U.S. was ready to stake a claim, to start colonizing the moon. Unfortunately, so were the Chinese. Commie forces had invaded the lunar surface, but the good old US of A already had a team waiting for them. My team. We called it the Battle in the Sea of Tranquility. Hell of a fight. We won, of course, but it came at a price. The Space Administration had a change of heart. They deemed colonization impractical, too costly. They scrapped the project, covered everything up. That's when I decided to leave the space program, retire from the Air Force. I wasn't ready to give up. So I started Project Selene.
What happened after that?
At this point, Armageddon was still at least 2 decades away. Of course, I didn't know that at the time, but many of us suspected we didn't have long. I moved into the private sector, took whatever research jobs seemed interesting. Cryogenics, plasma-based propulsion, engramic digitization, whatever I thought might be useful for Project Selene. Eventually, once I'd compiled enough research, I brought my project proposal to Robco.
What was it like, working with Robco?
Irritating, but productive. Thankfully, Robco's CEO was an old friend of mine, who just so happened to owe me a few favors. So, whenever things became too vexing, the drop of a name, a short phone call, and most things would iron themselves out. Or, so I thought. Evidently, even a CEO has a limit to how many strings they can pull, and eventually, marketing will always demand its pound of flesh. You see, Robco's board of directors weren't very happy with my altruistic effort to save a sliver of humanity. No, they wanted something they could sell. They wanted a product.
And then, as usual, everything fell apart.
Yes. I had thought that Robco would easily be brought to heel. However, before I could even construct a rocket to launch the first payload of ASAMs to the lunar surface, Robco double-crossed me. They cut my funding, took the ASAMs, and kicked me to the curb. Cut adrift, and with time against me, I sought salvation from a devil. In order to salvage Project Selene, I made a deal with Vault Tech. They got my project back on track and facilitated the production of the Ingram tapes.
Can you tell me more about this technology?
The Ingram tapes were my answer to managing something as sophisticated as my Project Selene. Initially, I tried using computers for the task, but they lacked the ability to solve problems creatively. After that, I tried robots, but operating individually, they simply weren't clever enough, and when networked, their personalities became unstable. So in the end, I settled on using an AI. It presented the best option, and lacked the drawbacks of the previous methods.
Hold on, AI? As in an artificial intelligence? You sure don't half-ass things, do you?
I needed the best, which is why I constructed the AI using a copy of my own mind. It took some time, but everything I am was copied and downloaded to 5 tapes. These were the Ingram tapes.
How'd you do that?
Thankfully, the technology to copy one's mind was already available. Not that it was easy to come by, but it helps to know the right people. Still, the process was experimental and wasn't always gentle to the user. A number of people had passed away undergoing the procedure. Well, I wasn't feeling quite ready to have my brain fried, so I did what I could to improve the hardware. And I'm pleased to say I did a rather good job. And so, my brain was copied. Most people's Ingrams fit into a single tape. Those performing the procedure thought mine might fit into 2. I said at least 4. But in the end, it was 5. It seems at times even I underestimate the utter brilliance of my mind.
Someone's a little full of himself.
I'm going to overlook that comment, but only because I need you to understand how important these tapes are. Why they'd be so valuable to someone like the gunner's employer. You see, collectively, the Ingram tapes hold the total sum of my experiences, knowledge, and personality. They're a virtual treasure trove of information. And as if that were not enough, the tapes are also the key to the operation of Project Selene.
Who are the gunners working for?
Would it surprise you to learn that you've already met them? They're the ones who came to my rescue when Robco stabbed me in the back. They offered you and your family the chance to survive nuclear annihilation. Yes, that's right. The gunners, they work for Vault Tech.
Wait, Vault Tech?
Yes, you heard me right. Vault Tech. You didn't truly believe them gone, did you? That they'd simply allowed themselves to be blown to Kingdom Come when the bombs fell?
But... Vault-Tec? How is that even... I mean... Where have they been all this time? I never seen them around anywhere. How could they have survived?
You want to know where Vault-Tec is? Look to the memorial in front of you. Or better yet, just look up at the night sky. Vault-Tec provided me everything I needed to bring Project Selene to fruition, also that they could snatch it away for themselves. And so, for 2 whole centuries, Vault-Tec have been hiding themselves away, safe and sound, in my lunar colony.
You sure about that?
Vault-Tec approached me claiming they wanted their own version of ASAM technology and promised to fund Project Selene in exchange. This was all under the table, mind you. Officially speaking, Vault-Tec knew nothing of my project. But Madison, the one who arranged it all, she knew. She knew everything I was doing. I trusted her, and she used that trust to hijack my project. But they didn't hijack everything. My time with Robco taught me valuable lessons. This time, I ensured certain avenues remained open to me. Even without the comm hub, I was able to at least somewhat monitor Luna Colony. Was able to see what those bastards were up to.
Vault-Tec is gone.
From the surface of the Earth, maybe. But don't delude yourself. They're still very much out there.
Okay, I can accept that the Gunners are working for Vault-Tec. But back in 111, you said the Gunners were hired to locate, secure, and then deliver engram tapes to their employer. Now, I know you said they're important, but there's gotta be more to it. If Vault-Tec already has a whole lunar colony, why are they making the Gunners tear apart the Commonwealth? In order to find a bunch of tapes?
Because Luna Colony needs the Ingram tapes in order to function. Without the tapes to regulate and sustain its systems, the colony is on the brink of catastrophic system failure. I'll admit, I'm at a loss as to how Vault-Tec has kept things running for as long as they have, but their time is up. Luna Colony has begun its collapse. And without the means to return to Earth, if Luna Colony perishes, so will Vault-Tec. That is why they are so eager to acquire those tapes.
How do you know what their goals are?
I've been able to tap into communications from both Vault-Tec and the Gunners for quite some time now. And whilst I don't overhear everything, I've heard enough to piece the situation together.
Why can't they just leave?
They can't leave. Because I didn't design Luna Colony with the means to do so. It was intended to be a one-way trip. And evidently, Vault-Tec didn't bring anyone with them who possesses enough brain cells to construct their own means of escape. Bet they regret leaving me behind now.
Sounds like we're screwed.
I know you and Vault-Tec have history, Doc, but... are they really our enemy? I mean, it's been the Gunners who've...
The Gunners are following orders from Vault-Tec. Ultimately, Vault-Tec are responsible for this war, and make no mistake, they are your enemy. Listen, the reason I've told you all this is not to scare you, but so you can fully comprehend what you're up against. You've become a potent hindrance to the Gunners and their employer. The Gunners have already located 4 of the Ingram tapes, and if you thought this war you found yourself in was bad now, if Vault-Tec get their hands on all 5 tapes, they'll have all they need to ensure you never hinder them again. That is why it's imperative we use atomic rain as soon as we can. Wipe the Gunners out before they have a chance to fulfill their contract. It's the only way to guarantee the safety of yourself and the Commonwealth.
I understand what you're saying.
I am glad you comprehend the magnitude of this. The moment for us to strike is now. For the sake of everyone, we must bring this crisis to an end.
Don't worry, Doc. We hear you. When it comes to ending this war, we're all on the same page.
We've spoken long enough. It's time for you to move out.
What do I need to do?
Proceed to the USAF station where you found the comm hub. And then I'll direct you in the assembly of the supercomputer. Magnuson out.
Huh. Guess that's a history lesson over with. Still, Vault Tech. Did not see that coming. But does kind of make sense. If it's true.
What do you think?
As crazy as it all sounds, everything Madison said does seem to add up. Could be everything you said was 100% sincere. Or he might just be a master of deception.
He's probably telling the truth. But you never know.
Anyway, looks like Madison wants us to go to Olivia. Come on, let's go get this computer built. Lead on and I'll follow.
Hey, Fancy Pants, good to see you.
Es wird keine Einmischung in unsere Sicherheitsoperationen geduldet.